I've been to the Olympics with boxing. I've been to 5 different weight classes, and I fought the best in my era. The key punch in boxing is the jab.
Hold me back. Hold me back. You'll fight, Eddie. You fucking stuff. Hold me back.
Terence Crawford isn't just stepping up his training for his upcoming fight against Canelo Alvarez. He's also enlisted a new trainer to help address specific workout strategies aimed at minimizing his weight disadvantage. These methods are designed to prepare him for the challenge on fight night. After training sessions, Crawford and his team also enjoyed a sparring session where he and Mayweather tested their skills in the ring. It's no secret that Crawford has begun an intense mini-training camp leading up to his September bout with Canelo. This comes right after recovering from an injury, and while the undefeated world champion plans to ramp up his training intensity as the fight date nears, he's already off to a strong start. His focus is on refining his training and weight-building techniques to ensure his size disadvantage won't be a factor in the ring. As Crawford mentioned, he and Mayweather have a lot in common, but boxing fans and supporters have long compared the two in an effort to determine who the better fighter is. After doing so, a news source named Crawford as the likely winner in a potential matchup between the two. When it comes to pure boxing ability, though, it's tough to find anyone who delivers more masterful displays of the sweet science than Floyd Mayweather Jr.
I think, I take more chances, right now. But earlier in his career, he was taking a lot of chances as well. So,
Mayweather's jab precision, timing, and counterpunching ability were key factors in his ability to dismantle a long list of opponents, and he did so across 2 different versions of himself. Whether it was his lightning-fast hands or the devastating left hook that dropped opponents, Mayweather was a master at controlling the fight. As Crawford noted, Pretty Boy Floyd was the more aggressive version, always bringing the fight to his opponents, while Money Mayweather, years later, used his brilliant boxing to outsmart and edge out his competition. Regardless of the style, both versions contributed to the legend of Floyd Mayweather Jr. Boxing fans continue to marvel at what Crawford did to Errol Spence in their last fight. Crawford showed immense skill, from landing a powerful jab that repeatedly snapped through Spence's guard to his precise counterpunching in tight exchanges. He exhibited supreme boxing ability that night, and though it wasn't the first time he'd showcased this talent, the performance against a fighter of Spence's caliber was something special. When it comes to pure boxing ability, it's hard to argue against Mayweather, but Crawford's style, though different, is just as effective and even explosive in its own right. So how would their styles match up if Crawford and Mayweather fought in their primes? Who would assert the jab first? Who would be the more effective counterpuncher? With so many variables at play, this matchup might best be declared a draw. How many times have we seen Mayweather lull his opponents, drawing them into the center of the ring, where he would analyze their every move and use his ring IQ to pick them apart? Mayweather's mastery of the hit and not get hit philosophy was a key ingredient in his Hall of Fame career as an undefeated 5-division world champion. Crawford, who became the undisputed champion at junior welterweight and now at welterweight, has shown a high ring IQ as well, proving himself to be an exceptional strategist. Mayweather demonstrated incredible hand speed, particularly as a counterpuncher. However, Crawford's unique angles and quick delivery give him the advantage in speed. When it comes to knockout power, Mayweather had 27 knockouts in his 50 wins, while Crawford has 31 knockouts in 40 victories, and he's still active. Crawford's dominance over Spence, dropping him 3 times before scoring a 9th-round TKO, was a prime example of his wizardry in the ring. He made it look easy, even against a tough, power-punching fighter like Spence, who had previously defeated the likes of Kell Brook, Sean Porter, and Yordenis Ugas. Crawford's power played a significant role in that victory, showing how he could systematically break down a fighter. Mayweather's defense, particularly his use of the Philly shell and shoulder roll, was the epitome of counterpunching. He absorbed shots with his arm while using his free hand to land his own punches, demonstrating the highest level of defensive boxing. Crawford's skill set, on the other hand, mixes speed, power, and a high ring IQ to create a more dynamic and aggressive approach to the sport.
It depends on which Floyd Mayweather you talk about. If you talk about money or do you talk about Pretty Boy? Because Pretty Boy was what is seek and destroy.
Crawford certainly has slick defensive skills of his own, but Mayweather took defensive boxing to an entirely new level, nearly perfecting the art of avoiding damage while still landing clean punches. So how would a fight between Crawford and a prime Mayweather unfold, and who would come out on top? After a tense first round where both boxers are sizing each other up, I can see Crawford being the more active and busier fighter early on. He'd launch and land shots, even though many of them would likely be absorbed by Mayweather's shoulder roll and defensive guard. By the middle rounds, Mayweather's defensive style would start to take over, and he'd begin to pepper Crawford with jabs while controlling the pace of the fight. He'd bank some rounds with his ability to avoid damage and counter effectively, but Crawford's aggression would keep it interesting.
Gonna reach from the left hooks again. And the lightning hand speed extraordinary. Left hook drops him. And then he hit his head off the miss here at the engine.
Despite Mayweather's defensive mastery, Crawford's constant pressure and firepower could break through, potentially landing enough shots to hurt the legend at times. This fight would be close, but Crawford's relentless aggression, along with his whiplash-like punches, might be enough to sway the judges. His pressure and volume could earn him a points win, despite Mayweather's precise defensive style. Terence Crawford is well known in the boxing world for his exceptional skills and undefeated record, which stand as a testament to his relentless dedication to training and strategic conditioning. Crawford's approach to training for his fight against Canelo Alvarez combines intense physical preparation with a sharp mental game, setting him apart in the sport. Crawford's current training routine is a dynamic blend of activities aimed at refining his boxing skills, maintaining peak physical condition, boosting his punch power, and gaining the necessary weight to challenge Canelo. A typical day in Crawford's camp includes circuit training with weights, strength and conditioning exercises to improve speed and agility, and core work where his trainer, McIntyre, bounces a heavy medicine ball off Crawford's stomach as he performs crunches. He also incorporates mountain runs and swimming into his routine. Crawford is particularly fond of swimming for cardio, training in the pool for 30 minutes to an hour every night. It's gentle on the joints and aids in muscle recovery and regeneration, helping to improve his cardiovascular endurance. While swimming isn't his natural strength, he pushes himself harder in this form of training, appreciating its unique benefits for building stamina. In addition to his physical training, Crawford spends significant time on boxing-specific drills. He's always working to refine both his offensive and defensive techniques, with one of his standout qualities being his ability to seamlessly switch between stances. This versatility is evident